we are watching the slow-motion demolition of the European economic model. The continent that invented the Industrial Revolution is now deindustrializing at a pace that is frankly shocking. Factories are going dark, energy bills are exploding, and the money is flowing across the Atlantic or to the Far East. But how did we get here? How did the richest continent on Earth suddenly find itself unable to keep the lights on and the assembly lines running? To understand this collapse, we have to start with the single most important commodity in the modern world. For decades, Europe had a secret weapon. It wasn't tech and it wasn't demographics. It was cheap Russian gas. It was a simple deal. Europe bought cheap energy from the East, used it to power high-end factories in the West, and sold the resulting Mercedes and BMWs to the rest of the world. It worked beautifully, until it didn't. When the pipelines were shut off, that business model evaporated overnight. While wholesale natural gas prices have stabilized somewhat since the peak of the crisis, they are still roughly triple what they were before the chaos began. Meanwhile, across the ocean, the United States is sitting on an ocean of cheap shale gas.
President Trump says he has a plan to make gas more affordable.
It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
There's no question that the United States needs more energy.
The mandate for the Trump administration domestically is to lower gas prices.
In the first month of his second term, the president announced several executive orders to support this goal.
But the problems go deeper than just energy and bad policy. There is an innovation desert. Where is the European Google? Where is the European Apple? Where is the European Nvidia? They don't exist. Out of the top 50 tech companies in the world, only 4 are European. While Silicon Valley was inventing the future of AI, Brussels was busy inventing the regulations to control it. The EU is the world champion of regulation. They have the GDPR, the AI Act, the Digital Markets Act, but you can't regulate your way to prosperity. You have to actually build things. The Draghi report highlights this innovation gap as a lethal threat. Europe is excellent at funding basic research, but terrible at turning that research into businesses. The smart money and the smart people are leaving. They're going to the US where they can get funding, or they're getting acquired by American giants. And this leads to the final nail in the coffin, the demographic time bomb. Europe is turning into a massive retirement home. The workforce is shrinking. In Germany, within the next 15 years, about 30% of the workforce will reach retirement age. Who is going to work in the factories? Who is going to pay the taxes to fund the pensions? The social contract in Europe is based on a growing population paying for the elderly. When that growth stops, the system breaks. You see it in France with the pension protests. You see it in the strained healthcare systems across the UK and Germany. So what does the future look like? Unless something drastic changes, Europe risks becoming a museum. A beautiful place with great food and history, where tourists from America and China come to vacation, but where no actual innovation or production happens. It creates a lopsided world, a world where the US provides the security and the tech, China provides the manufacturing and the infrastructure, and Europe provides the luxury bags and the vacation spots. The downfall of Europe isn't a singular event like a war or a crash. It's a slow, grinding decline fueled by high energy costs, over-regulation, and a refusal to adapt to a harder, sharper world. The factories are leaving, and they aren't coming back. The question isn't whether Europe can return to its glory days. The question is whether it can survive as a relevant global power at all. And right now, the answer is looking dangerously like no.